Claressa Shields, an Olympic gold medalist, knockout champion, and undefeated fighter, tried to wed Papoose in secret behind Remy Ma's back. Remy Ma found out, but he also showed up at the wedding, took Claressa's wig, and hauled her out like a bag of laundry? Oh no, darling, it's a reality TV finale that spilled into real life, not just a controversy. When Remy Ma transformed an extravagant estate wedding into a full-fledged demolition site, where were you? The events of that day left Papoose motionless at the altar, as if he had seen a ghost, people shouting and lace fronts flying. Maybe his whole life appeared in a flash, in addition to an exclusive remark from a visitor who stated that it was Love and Hip Hop meets WWE SmackDown. We have leaked video from unidentified sources. So fasten your seatbelts for what started off as wedding bells turned into wig-snatching combat. You'll want every delectable, trivial, violent detail, I can assure you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. Yes, the smack heard around the Oscars is part of what may be the most tumultuous event of the decade. Shut down by wig snatch and Remy Ma. Let's be clear. Remy Ma's guy, Papoose, was secretly planning to wed Claressa Shields, the unbeaten boxing legend. Papoose, you listen to me. The Papoose who held Remy down during her 6-year prison sentence wrote poems about her, and even said he would never look at another woman that poop is the same. Papoose who had black love woven into his DNA, but there he was, with Claressa at the altar, wearing a cream tux, clutching vows on gold foil paper, smiling as though he hadn't just committed a federal violation against the Black Love movement. Despite her spotless boxing record, Claressa clearly thought she could go into this marital match without risking karma, but she didn't remember that Remy M doesn't accept Ellie's. There were no phones, no cameras, no press, and visitors were required to sign non-disclosure agreements, turn in their equipment, and pretend they weren't viewing a high-definition scandal, according to sources. But here's where things get interesting. While fixing the bride's edges, one of Claressa's hairstylists, because it's always someone from glam, took a photo in front of the mirror with the caption, "Wedding." Meanwhile, back at the wedding, everything was gorgeous. Claressa was walking down the aisle to a live harpist. Papoose was crying, and the guests were sipping champagne and thinking. Somehow that selfie ended up in Remy Ma's inbox, and she didn't text, call, or post anything critical on Instagram. Now, let's talk about the pull-up. Remy didn't post anything critical on Instagram, and she dressed all in black as if she was at a funeral, which she may have been. And she got into an SUV with tinted windows, allegedly whispering to the driver, "Don't stop till I say so." The guests gasped as the doors flew open during the vows. And one of the groomsmen dropped his champagne flute, and there she was, in full-fledged New York mode. In heels and fury, walking up the aisle like it was the Grammys' red carpet, without raising her voice or flinching, but instead looking directly at Claressa and saying, "This is your idea of a legacy, marrying someone else's man in my face. That wig is now mine, but you can keep the man." Claressa had left Papoose frozen, with one hand on his chest and the other still holding the ring, as if he had just been slapped by every bad decision he had ever made. The harpist stopped mid-note. Guests screamed. The photographer kept snapping as if he knew this was Pulitzer material. And Remy Ma grabbed Claressa by her exposed braid pattern and pulled her down the aisle like she was an Amazon return. The officer whispered, "Should I stop?" And according to reports, one visitor shouted, No, keep. I'm at Claressa and Papoose's wedding, and Remy Ma just turned it into WWE Raw." Claressa was attempting to defend herself, but according to sources, Remy Ma had her in such a tight grip that all she could do was yell, "You're crazy." Remy allegedly responded, "No, I'm loyal. You're crazy." Twitter was already on fire when someone live tweeted from the bushes behind the food truck, saying, "I saw the wig fly like a dove, and this can't be life." As the situation worsened, another person shared the slow-down wig snatch moment. The DJ unintentionally played Lean Back in the hopes that it would calm things down, but it didn't. Another video went viral with a comment. When the vows say, "Speak now or forever hold your peace," and dramatic piano music underneath. Remy Ma says, "Bet." Chaos had erupted inside the club when Remy reportedly remarked, "You think it is a remix? I'm not here for nostalgia. I'm here for justice." Yes, Claressa was barefoot and bowling halfway across the yard when sirens sounded in the distance. The flashing lights illuminated the night like the Bet Awards, and Remy remained outside, not running, not panicked, simply reapplying her lip gloss nonchalantly as if this were just another Tuesday. According to one witness, she even questioned the cops. "You'll get here fast if you are SVP too." Whether it was the harpist, the wedding planner, or one of the unconcerned aunts who brought their own foldable chair just in case, we may never know. Who phoned the cops? This was not going to be a peaceful arrest, however, because as the officers came up to her, one of them placed his hand on her shoulder and stated, "Ma'am, we need you too," Remy said. "Cool, but if you touch me again, I'll snatch your mustache off too." Then, because karma had a whole plot twist planned for Remy Ma as well, things took a surprising turn when one of the cops, clearly unprepared for the situation, went to restrain her and inadvertently grabbed Remy by the wig, pulling her until the crowd gasped again. One bridesmaid fainted, and the groom's mother yelled, "Not the circle of wigs." Ree's own hairpiece came loose, and the police were now snatching the woman who had grabbed Claressa by her lace. When the policeman accidentally grabbed Remy Ma's wig while trying to arrest her, the world momentarily stopped spinning, and Twitter exploded. TikTok went to its knees. Facebook aunties were in prayer circles, and someone tweeted, "Remy Ma just went from snatcher to snatched, ... Have you ever seen the internet go into real time? Front and as she was led to the police car, still proud, perfect, and angry, the internet declared that justice had been served. Beyoncé intended for full circle to signify this. However, let's be clear that this wasn't someone of the guests told our anonymous investigative team, who were obviously not listening in behind the dessert table. "I knew it was over when Remy said, 'I did what needed to be done,' as they put her in cuffs." This was a casual traffic stop arrest. There were flashing lights, 3 squad cars, a crowd of wedding guests in high heels filming with burner phones, and Remy Ma holding a wig in one hand, while maintaining her dignity in the other. You would think that everything would calm down once she was in the squad car, but that wasn't the case at all. That was just the Claressa Shields didn't take humiliation lightly, despite what you all believed. She was pulled down the aisle after having her wig stolen mid-vow. She was now resolved to fight, even in front of the police. The cops were escorting Claressa out of the event cuffed wigless, and still using excellent rhymes when she burst out of the building barefoot and ready for round 2. The crowd went crazy. Officers had to separate the two like it was a UFC pre-fight press conference, and the atmosphere was completely out of control. They even asked, "Let me get 1 minute with her." Remy allegedly shouted back, "You have 60 seconds to get better edges. Boo!" A teenager went live on Instagram and yelled, "This better make the shade room or I'm suing." After an uncle began selling plates, Papoose, however, was still alone at the altar, gripping a wedding ring as if it were radioactive, and appeared to be a man who had just discovered that he hadn't had peace since 2006. He also seemed to be unsure of people's trust. The question that everyone had was, how did it get to this point? How did we go with Remy and asterisk leaked messages to the gossip blog? Unbothered Tea Weekly claimed that Papoose and Claressa had been secretly dating for over a year, not weeks, months, or even a full year, and guess where they met? A podcast taping. Naturally, the connection began when Papoose was there promoting his new mixtape, Lyrical Love, and what began as a freestyle The Lifetime original series follows Papooses' relationship goals to public wedding warfare. It gets messy here. Clarissa's stylist claims that Remy suspected Papoose of being too protective of Clarissa's name, deleting messages too quickly, and even using Face ID to conceal his phone. All classic indicators of foul play, but Remy kept ignoring it until she saw that cute bridal selfie and listened. The argument in the green room turned into, "Can I walk you to your car?" And then into, "Let's arrange a wedding without my wife knowing." The security footage, which was leaked by a venue employee who now sells exclusive content on Patreon, shows that Remy Ma parked her car sideways in front of the venue, like it was Fast and Furious Bronx Drift. She didn't even close the door, just barged in like she had nothing to lose, and now she might actually be facing actual charges. Yes, you heard it first. Police are investigating the incident as a high-profile celebrity altercation with intent to disrupt a private event. The public's response is out of control, with social media polls showing that 58% of people believe Remy was justified but chaotic. 27% believe Papoose set both women up for power. And 15% still find it hard to believe that wigs can be stolen so easily. Insiders say prosecutors are considering using wig snatching to disrupt the peace through physical assault, trespassing, and emotional terrorism. It's a fake, but it feels real, and an even more shocking leaked memo suggests that Claressa may be charging both Remy and the venue for failing to prevent a public embarrassment during a sacred ceremony. Remy Ma reportedly said, "No, let them see me," when she was offered a hoodie to cover her head at the station, according to insiders. Even Wendy Williams' former producers reportedly reached out to see if they could turn the entire situation into a limited series. Be posted. When you marry someone else's man, expect the ex to bring fireworks. And Remy, she doesn't play with sparklers. She brings the whole 4th of July. At this point, the streets declared her the people's champ. But the question remains. What comes next? Remy may face charges. Claressa wants retribution. Papoose may require witness protection. And the internet continues to play that dragging scene like it's the Zapruder film of hip-hop drama. The world hasn't recovered from the most scandalous wedding crash in hip-hop history, and 48 hours have gone by. Memes are being printed on hoodies, and there is even an unapproved reenactment circulating on TikTok with sock puppets. Her mugshot was leaked online, according to completely unsubstantiated reports. And her famous pose in heels, which included a slightly raised chin tilted with purpose and a look that said, "I do it again," has somehow become even more iconic. However, this is where things get legal, as fictitious insiders at the Bronx District Court claim Remy is facing 3 charges: felony embarrassment in the 1st degree, assault by lacefront, and disturbance of a private event. The judge overseeing the case, who may or may not be a fan of Remy, allegedly told her lawyer, "Honestly, if I were her, I'd have snatched the wig." Furthermore, it's not just courtrooms getting involved. Reports state that Papooses' loyalty license is being investigated by the Hip Hop Relationship Council trademark. Yes, we made that up. Rumor has it that if found guilty of emotional betrayal, he may no longer be allowed to quote Maya Angelou or refer to Remy as his queen in public. What Papoose has to say for himself. Following days of silence, he finally made an appearance in a surprise live stream indoors while sporting sunglasses and whispering, "I just want peace." I never wanted. The comments are relentless, sir. You held her down for 6 years and couldn't pull off a covert wedding without second-guessing yourself if Claressa made you do it. But here's the twist. A leaked voicemail, allegedly from Claressa's shield, was sent to one of her friends just before the wedding, and in it, she says that Remy isn't even checking for him anymore and is out with that other guy, Easy or whatever. I'm just speeding up what was already ending. And now the internet is debating whether this was a betrayal or just bad timing. According to reports, Remy Ma has been offered a 6-figure speaking engagement and a full-length documentary deal. with to be called Wigs and War. How I Took My Power Back. Meanwhile, a phony change petition to officially recognize wig snatching as a form of emotional warfare and self-defense is gaining momentum with over 80,000 signatures. The comments are pure gold if your Ma N is at an altar and you aren't the bride. Whether Remy is defending her man or her ego, the fallout is wild. While Team Remy is printing I Do Too Vengeance t-shirts and Team Claressa is hosting a charity boxing match to raise money for victims of public hairline trauma, Team Papoose is out there alone, wandering the streets of Brooklyn like a character from an unpaid bet miniseries. However, according to sources, Rhee's legal team has formally filed a dignity injunction, a completely fictitious legal motion that forbids Papoose from publishing any poetry or spoken word poetry. The season is open, and the public's response is still hilariously divided. Claressa isn't finished yet, though, as she wailed while placing her original wig in a plastic evidence bag and holding a 30-inch bust down middle part during a news conference outside a hair supply store. I just wanted love. I just wanted peace. Violence wasn't what I expected on my special day. Reporters gasped, and one courageous blogger questioned whether she still harbored feelings. I didn't expect to be scalped in front of my grandmother. A picture of Claressa with the caption, "I got feelings like for revenge," has 3.8 million shares. Someone remixed the line, and the beat drops into Jasmine Sullivan's Backstabber. Another tweet read, "This is the greatest love triangle since Beyonce, Jay, and Becky with the good hair." Let's not forget the most unexpected twist of all. The meme irrevocably went viral after she paused and whispered, "I still got feelings, but not for him, for revenge." Fans swiftly roasted Papoose after Remy posted a blurry photo of herself looking out a limo window on Instagram with the caption, one word, unbothered. The picture received over 1 million likes and thousands of comments, and everyone is now wondering what will happen next. Will Remy sue herself? Will Claressa arrange a second wedding with security this time? Will Papoose vanish into the same Bermuda Triangle that ruined Safari's reputation? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, this story has permanently changed the landscape of celebrity drama. Whether you're on Remy's side, Claressa's side, we're still trying to figure out why Papoose was wearing a tux instead of a therapist's office. One thing is for sure, this wasn't just a love triangle, it was a PR disaster wearing a lace front. Do you think? Did Remy go too far by turning wedding vows into combat choreography? Most importantly, whose wig deserves justice? Please share your thoughts in the comments section because we're not done drinking yet. If you liked the video, please hit the bell and subscribe for more upheaval so you don't miss the next incident. We'll disclose your favorites.